Welcome to day 3, Mindful Athletes. Today we're going to be learning about how to master your mind through understanding your body. This is a very good topic, and this is where I really have my specialty in psychological skills training. But to understand your body is going to be really important before we move on to the 5 pillars of health and really diving deeper into nutrition, sleep, exercise, mindset, and relationships. So today I want to go through a mindfulness meditation and how you can use your senses to be able to bring your awareness back to your prefrontal cortex and be in what we call your wise mind, your decision thinking mind. And then after that, we're going to do a really quick anatomy lesson. And don't worry, it's super easy. You've got this. You're not going to be asked to memorize anything or remember anything. It is simply conceptual for you to be able to understand concepts better. And when you are going to the gym, when you are doing all of these beneficial things, you're going to have way more, you're going to have increased awareness of what's happening to your body, to you, and it's just going to tenfold increase the results that you're going to be able to get on whatever you're trying to achieve, whether it's relationships, money, or fitness, whatever your goal is. So mastering your mind and body through body scans, which is returning to mindfulness. What meditation really is returning to a state of mind that you are in control of your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. We are the sum total, what we call in clinical psychology, we are the sum total of our thoughts, emotions, and actions and behaviors. So if you can control, number one, the first thing that you can control is what you think. And then the next thing you can control is your emotion, your response to the stimulus that you're getting. And then the last thing you control is your actual response to said stimulus. Okay? So that's kind of the basis of like why mindfulness is going to be really important. As far as the scan goes, we're going to use our own body to return to mindfulness, what Buddhism calls the monkey mind, where if you've ever tried to meditate before in your past, you've probably taken a couple deep breaths and then thought, oh, what am I going to have for dinner? Or, oh, what's assignment do I have to do for school? Or, oh, what kid do I have to pick up? Or whatever life situation is happening, your mind starts to wander and go and grab all these what is called bananas, right? You have monkey mind, so you're just bananas all over the place that you're going to try and pick. So what this is instead of you consistently reaching for those bananas and going to it, it's recognizing those thoughts. So you're able to breathe and you can recognize, what am I going to have for dinner? No, let me bring my thoughts back to my breath, back to my senses. Let me bring my thoughts back to myself. And this is a really interesting but really quick story. I was in a breakfast shop down in California, and there was a monk that was just sitting in the I don't know the diner, and he was just drinking his tea, and he would take one sip every like 15, 20, or 30 minutes. I was just doing work, and he would just sit there and not do anything, and then he would slowly take a sip of tea, set it down, and just continue to just be mindful. And I was thinking to myself, this is really odd. Like, that's not normal behavior for somebody to come and sit there, do nothing, and have a hot cup of tea in front of you that you let get cold just by letting it sit there, and you don't do anything for a long period of time. And that's what kind of got me to research and study more into mindfulness and kind of what are the benefits of it. So there's two sides of this equation. There are the people that really enjoy mindfulness, and because they take it as a time to be able to kind of sit back and think and relax. They love relaxing, like your the type B personalities, right? But then there's my type A that are go, 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 consistently trying, consistently going, consistently adding things onto their plate and doing more and more and more. Whereas those types of people are going to have a really hard time bringing their mind back. And those types of people are going to ask, what's the point? Why do I need to practice mindfulness when I can just continually work and always do things? So there's a couple really good reasons too. So on all the studies that they've done for education and how to learn, they've seen that a method where you break things up, where you study for either a half hour or 50 minutes between that time frame, depending on how long you can focus, a half hour to 50 minutes, and then you take a 5 to 10 minute break. Now this 5 to 10 minute break is not a let's scroll on my phone or continue getting stimulus into your mind. It's a break from doing anything. You can get up and you can walk, you can move around, but it's really just you don't do anything. You can sit there, not think, and just breathe or go on a walk. And what this does is it increases your mind's ability to take short-term memory and convert it into long-term memory so that you can keep the information stored. So if you're studying and you're trying to learn something, study for about 30 to 50 minutes, find kind of the range that works best for you, and then take 5 to 10 minutes to practice this mindfulness. Okay? So that's kind of like the science-y-ish background and kind of the story behind how I learned mindfulness and why mindfulness is so important. And how I ended up discovering it is I find myself, I can be so much more present and I can be with people, the people that I am, and I have so much more joy in life when I'm able to be mindful and intentional about what I'm doing. That's the key, is being intentional. So body scans are going to be one of the methods that we use here. So in the preparation, you're going to find a quiet space. I have my meditation pillow on the floor right there that I'll sit on, and I will, I'll just sit on the pillow with my back up against the wall, and I'll just breathe. There's a couple different kinds of breathing that you can do. So begin with breathing. After you're kind of in a comfortable, you can sit in a chair, you can sit on the floor, just try not to lay down actually because you might fall asleep, but it's up to you. And then just focusing on your breath. There's a couple of breathing techniques that you can use. The easiest one is called box breathing. Box breathing is you breathe in for 3 or 4 seconds. You go 1, 2, 3, and then you hold 2, 3, and then you exhale 2, 3, hold 2, 3, inhale 2, 3, and you just kind of go through this motion. So hold, but you make it a little longer. So that's box breathing. That's going to be a really good way to bring your awareness and have your monkey mind come back and bring it back to your focusing on your breath. The other one is just taking really deep breaths and just focusing on breathing in really deeply, holding at the top a little bit, and then breathing out really deeply. It does not have to be complicated. We're going to get into more meditations later. If you are like, hey man, I love the meditation stuff, let's do more meditation stuff. But for right now, that's all you need. And it doesn't need to be 10 minutes either. It can be 30 seconds. It can be 2 minutes. Whatever is going to work best for you to bring your awareness back. So the sensory scan, I like to do top-down processing. That's really how I like to look at the body. So I'll start kind of with my eyesight, and I'll take a moment to really just focus and look at everything around me. I maybe even will look at one point of, if I'm outside, I'll look at a couple blades of grass, and I'll focus really intentionally on just those couple blades of grass, and just get really tuned in to what my eyes are actually seeing, what that sensation is doing for me. And then I'll be able to use sight, hearing, and you can, again, this is why I love nature so much. You can just focus on the birds or the river, or if you're in New York, all the cars and honking and stuff going outside. Just like take a second to really notice what input is happening, and then you can do touch. You can feel kind of yourself. You can get an awareness of like, okay, really get the sensation and how the neurons and nerves are firing into your brain, where you really feel it. Just become really aware of how your sensation is of touch is affecting you. You can feel the chair that you're sitting in. You can, hold a water bottle or something. Really feel if it's cold or warm. Just use the sensation to bring your mind back to awareness. The other thing you do is smell. So it comes with breathing. So as you're breathing in deeply, really focus on, what am I smelling around me? Am I at school? Do I smell pencils? Do I smell food? Is somebody cooking? Does it smell bad? Right? Take a second to really walk through that sense and take a deep breath. Last one is taste. So you can do this with maybe even extreme taste. So sour. So you can get like sour candy or something spicy. Or a lot of people just, when they get bored, they'll eat a lot of food, right? They just kind of mindlessly eat. Take a time to really notice the sensation of what you're eating. If you really love pizza, don't just scarf down the pizza. Take a second, take a bite, really cherish, like, have you seen Ratatouille when he eats the cheese and the grape, right? When he eats the cheese, he gets all these fireworks, then he eats the grape, and there's more fireworks, and then he puts it together, and there's suddenly like a whole firework show going on in his head. You can have that same sensation if you just bring your awareness to your taste. So those are ways that you can use your senses, your 5 senses, to be able to bring that taste back. Now, if that's all you do, you are already better than 99% of the population. 99% of the population isn't going to do this. So the fact that you're even taking a moment to be mindful and to focus on your breath or look at your senses is a huge part of becoming intentional about your life. So pat yourself on the back for that. Take time to actually do this, and I'm proud of you for actually taking the time to be here and to be able to do this. The next one is going to be like, if you get kind of past just the breathing, this is going to be the next technique that you can use. I like to call it induction, or progressive relaxation. This is something that athletes and business professionals, people that have to perform at high levels, use all the time before they enter into a state of visualization. So you can go feet up or head down, whichever way is going to make the most sense for you. I like to think of like my muscles as balloons. So my muscles are just really full, big balloons. They're full of a bunch of air. I think of myself as a big balloon animal. And I slowly go through and I focus on like just my calves. And I slowly release the valve on the balloon, and the air is going to be letting it out, and then it's going to slowly collapse and completely just get into a state of just relaxed. And then I go up to my knees and my thighs, and then I slowly just envision the balloon just deflating, and I get super, super relaxed. And then I go into my hips, and then I go into my core, and then my torso, and then my shoulders and arms and hands, and I slowly just relax until I get to my neck, and just slowly let it back until you get to your sensations again, and just let your face muscles just relax. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. The slower you go, the deeper you can go into a visualization practice. So if you have just 5 minutes, just do breath work. If you have 10 minutes, do breath work and a small induction technique. If you're like, hey man, I really want to do this today, I want to really focus in and do 20 minutes or 30 minutes, you can take the time to really slowly go through this. And then we'll talk about visualization practices later that you guys can practice as well. But yeah, you can also look internally, not just your muscles, but you can focus on your heartbeat. Notice, just become aware of your body. And always, always, always return to your breath. That's what return to mindfulness is. It's returning to your breath, to your center. It's the one thing that you can truly control, other than your motor skills, right? Is your breath. The only thing internally that you can totally control is your breath. So come back to your breath. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't judge yourself. Please, please, please. Like, if this is kind of difficult for you, be patient. Be so patient with yourself and don't judge yourself and think immediately, oh, I'm so bad at this. I can't practice this. This is too hard. I'm not going to get any of the benefits, which the benefits are amazing. I mentioned some in the beginning, but a lot of the benefits are going to be mental clarity. It's going to be huge, where you're just going to have total awareness and clarity for your actions. Remember, your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors. So the more you can be aware of your emotions, oh, I feel anger. I kind of feel it in my neck a little bit. When I get angry, I kind of feel a sensation right here that I am angry. So it's emotional awareness, which we will dive into in deeper trainings. But please be patient, because the practice of mindfulness and getting your mindset correct is going to decrease your cortisol, increase your serotonin and dopamine. Is going to increase your HGH, so your growth hormone that is going to be able to repair your body. Your body will be able to become more anabolic, meaning it's building itself back up because you're decreasing your cortisol levels. There's so many amazing benefits, like scientifically and from a microbiology level, but also like a psychological level of clarity and thoughts and behavior. So practice. Doesn't have to be long, just a couple minutes, and just continue to be patient with yourself. Like I said, when you have questions, the action steps are always going to be share a value post, a learned post, or a question post. So if you have questions about this, go and ask it there. I'd love to be able to help you out. And if you feel like you learned something awesome, go share it in there. And if you have any of your own value that you have from prior experience that you've already done with mindfulness, go and share it there as well. That is all for this training. I'll see you in Anatomy 101.